Welcome in, builders. Today we are going to do a video that I have been looking forward to doing for literally an entire year. This is going to be Babel Builders Steam Replay 2024. I have not looked through here before. I peeked just down far enough to make sure that there was enough information here to be worth making a video, but otherwise this will be as much of a surprise to me as it will be to you. Let's take a look and see what I've gotten up to. The reason that this one is special to me is the channel is now over a year old. So this entire year's data will be taken from time that I was working on the channel. So I know this has influenced how I play games, and I know it's influenced what I have been playing. Let's see what things turned out to be. So without further ado, Babel Builders Steam Replay 2024. So we played 52 different games. Of course, I say we. I played 52 games because not all of these made it onto the channel. We had 20 new games, 22 demos, and 2 playtests. So 2 playtests, that's some of those newer videos that I've been putting up from development keys. Very cool to be growing to a size that that's actually a thing that can happen. 22 demos, a lot of Steam Fests, and a lot of just hunting for good games to show off on the channel. And 20 new games actually... Yeah, I was going to say, that feels like it's up a little bit, but I think that's mainly from demos and playtests. I normally probably don't have quite that high. 316 achievements unlocked, which is 42 less than last year. That doesn't actually surprise me too much. I played, I think, a lot of Final Fantasy this year, and I've been playing games that either don't have achievements or I've gotten the achievements, but I'm doing more content on them for the channel. So that doesn't surprise me too much there. Longest streak, 106 days. Now, September 3rd, I don't know what the significance of that would have been. I generally am an everyday Steam user. Perhaps I was playing something else. I suppose before, I've already given it away, but I suppose before we go fully in there, the games I played this year that were not on Steam would be a few of the gotchas I play. So I did a little bit of Genshin. I played through some of Fontaine. I played Zenless Zone Zero on release, not too far into it. So I don't know, a few tens of hours. And I do play Star Rail. So I probably have between the 3 of those games, 100, 150 hours, I'd say, maybe a smidgen more over the entire year. But beyond that, pretty much everything else, I guess Girls Frontline 2 that we just did on the channel, a couple hours, but pretty much everything else will be in Steam. So this is almost the entire year's statistic. So I think to no one's surprise, Dominion 6, Rise of the Pentocrator, 35% of my playtime. Oh my goodness, do we have a total hours? Not yet, at least. Okay. 35% of my playtime. That makes sense to me. I mean, if absolutely nothing else, I mean, on average, we do what, about 6-hour stream every week, and I probably put maybe a little less than that, maybe a little more than that each week on average into playtesting and making my video. So that doesn't surprise me too much. 276 sessions played. Wow. Age of Wonders 4. Okay, that doesn't surprise me either. I did play this quite a bit on release and throughout some of the DLCs, and then we've featured on the channel a couple times, but we've done one major playthrough. Crusader Kings 3, again, a game that I've played on and off on my own, and we've recently concluded a playthrough there. So that actually surprised me a little bit that those two are essentially tied for second place. That actually does surprise me. I was expecting there to be more Final Fantasy 14. I do have that through Steam, so a little bit of a surprise to me there. How you compare. Stack your year against the rest of the Steam community. You unlock 316 achievements. Wow, even despite being down a significant amount, the Steam median is 13. I'm pretty sure we got 13 achievements in a single game. You played 52 games, and that's a little inflated by those demos, but the Steam median is 4. Are these like the people who play, like, I don't know, CSGO and nothing else? Like, that just seems really low to me, that you would only play 4 games as the median. That's a little surprising to me. How many people are stockpiling backlog and never even launching them? Your longest streak was 106 days. to me, that doesn't actually mean too much. I'm a little surprised it's actually that short, but it may have been a day of technical difficulties or a day where I spent the entire day editing a video or something. Weird that I wouldn't have booted Steam up, but yeah, is what it is. There maybe it's when I built this new machine. That could be. So new, recent, and classic games. So 13% classic games. The percentage of playtime spent by all Steam users. Okay, so I was way below average on classic games. I was a little below average on recent games, and I was far above average on new releases. That doesn't surprise me. That number is probably higher than it normally would be for me because I've been trying to cover things when they come out. You kind of need to do that if you want to have videos that people are going to watch. You need to be relevant at the time. Some of my big moments were Dominions when it released, Age of Wonders when it released. Early on, Matchless Kung Fu was there a little bit, and then Zephon would be another major one for this channel. You are what you play. This spider graph shows the kind of games you spent the most time in 2024. Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised that space is that high. Like, what were we playing? I guess No Man's Sky? But why is... I guess No Man's Sky and Stellaris, those are both space games. A little bit MMORPG, that's going to be Final Fantasy XIV. Colony Sim, that's RimWorld and a few other games. Tactical RPG, a little bit. What would that have been? That wouldn't be Final Fantasy 16. I didn't play any Disgaea this year. I'm not sure what that would fall under off the top of my head. Automation, so that's going to be Factorio and Satisfactory. And top-down shooters a little surprising to me. I don't know what we've... I mean, Zero Savant, but I have like less than an hour played of that. Workshop items, yeah, that's kind of whatever. That's mostly RimWorld there, a little bit of Kinchi. Those are my mostly modded games. Did a few posts of my own, earned some badges, and I did write a review. Okay. I to no one's surprise, Dominion 6 Rise of the Pentaclocator. And you can see pretty consistent playtime here. So this is just showing of all my playtime for Dominions, how it is spread out. This would have been when I was off on vacation. So that makes sense that those would be relatively high. Yeah, coming back into work here. And December, we still have a week to go in December, well, more than a week to go. So this will definitely grow some. And I have been very busy this month. I've just, holiday stuff, work stuff. So that doesn't surprise me too much. Don't take that as an indicator in loss of interest. But otherwise, I would call this relatively stable, all things considered. Yeah, you can see the game came out here in January and 10% of our time. So yeah, that's not a major surprise there. Age of Wonders, again, these are probably DLC releases. You can see I generally play a little bit around each one. A game I'd love to spend more time in, but I just have not had the time to it. Also, no achievements here. You're dragging me down, Dominions. Where are my achievements? Got some here in Age of Wonders. Crusader Kings 3, we knew that was coming. Again, played some back in March, and then here, prepping for and then playing through our run. Stellaris, okay, I thought Stellaris would actually be a little bit higher, so I'm not overly shocked here. And Stellaris and achievements is kind of weird to me. I played a ton of Stellaris, but a lot of my playtime's actually in multiplayer with various friends that I've played in there. So I have achieved these things, but not earned the achievement for a lot of them. So I have a lot of the low-hanging fruit, and I don't have a lot of the very specific ones actually unlocked. So actually a little surprised that that's as low as it is, all things considered there. No Man's Sky. I got very into No Man's Sky for a little bit there. I wish this would give me the year's playtime on here. I'm a little disappointed that this doesn't say played this year, 50 hours or whatever. This is one I need to go back and revisit some. I was having a ton of fun in there, but I also was a little frustrated. We had a really, really hard crash. Like, there was a thing on the map that I had to go to that was nearly hard locking my PC. And that made me feel very, very sketch, especially with my brand new PC and I didn't want a chance damaging it or something. We also were having the sound issue from Windows 11. The buzzing was right here, and that's what killed this playthrough. But supposedly that's fixed. I am up on the newest release for 24 or Windows 11 24H2. Ironically enough, that should fix the buzzing sound, but currently it broke Path of Exile 2. I have the full system lock freeze, and they will not address it. So a little disappointing, you grinding gears. Yeah. So maybe we will have to come back and revisit some No Man's Sky. I had a lot of fun with that. A really good game. I'm really looking forward to Light No Fire, which is to be decided when it's coming out, but the next game from them. Your playtime by month? I mean, overall, pretty consistent. Here's where I was learning a lot of video editing. That's probably why that is down a little bit. So I was having to spend a lot of time in video editing and not actually playing games. I suppose it's worth just peeking here. So some Pal World. Okay, kind of an honorable mention there a little bit. Stellaris, Dominions, and then other things. Some Final Fantasy, some Divinity Original Sin, Gladius, Shadow Empire, Against the Storm, Matchless Kung Fu. Okay, so some more Pal World here. I'm kind of mostly interested in these down here. Anything else new or different? Not really. Oh, Sakura of Rice and Ruin. That's another game we should check out. I didn't get very far in that, but I was really enjoying the storytelling in it, actually. Okay, some RimWorld here. So this is going to be the release of Anomaly coming in. Crusader Kings, yep. Of course, Dominions. Down here, any new entries into things? Goblin Stone. I thought Goblin Stone was going to be really big. I was super psyched for that, and there was like zero interest in Goblin Stone. There was zero interest in that. That did not turn out how I thought it was going to be. What else we got? Okay, here's a good chunk of No Man's Sky getting in there. RimWorld again. Again, that's the height of Anomaly and the playthrough I was doing there. And if we get down here, Anno 1800. Yeah, there's another cool game. We should check that out. The Last Spell. Okay, that's when we were doing Last Spell streams. Tale of Immortal. A game I haven't really mentioned on the channel, but actually has a DLC coming out that we may see on the channel a little bit here in a couple weeks. I have things to say about that game. Yishion, the cultivation card game, another cool one. Lost Village. I was definitely in a cultivation mood that month. And Cavalry Girls. Yeah, we did our full playthrough, completed playthrough of Cavalry Girls. Very cool top-down. There's where the top-down shooter came from. That was Cavalry Girls. That makes sense. I was pushing myself to do that full playthrough, and we streamed that for a few weeks every stream night. That was before I really settled into the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. That'd be April. Yeah, so I was still in the middle of working. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Then moving up to May. Any outliers here? Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, I had a run there. There's Vicky 3 coming out. Sailing Era. Okay, yeah, Sailing Era. Another really cool game that no one would watch me play. Maybe I'll do it anyways. We'll have to see. Okay, Workers and Resources. Yeah, yep. Now we're towards summer. So I'm streaming multiple days a week, multiple hours. We did a pretty deep playthrough, I would say, of Workers and Resources. That'd be another one I'd love to revisit. I don't know if the viewership's there for it, though. It's not my channel's specialty, so I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing that, though. Those were super chill streams. I was doing them kind of early in the morning for me, and so it was like coffee and chill while building out some Workers and Resources. Yeah, they've had a few patches. They actually have a new DLC, but it's just maps. I actually like the random maps more than I like their pre-gen maps, so I don't know if I would really even want to check that out per se. If we march on down here, Cultist Simulator. Yep, and Book of Hours was coming out. Another game that I really needed to cover on the channel, but again, my time is so limited. I have to balance what Babel wants to play, what Babel wants other people to see, and what people will actually watch. So I'm still learning how to do that well. Some Elden Ring. I have played a bit. Have not gotten too far in that. Well, I can't. Okay, it just says and 10 more. So I'm not allowed to go into deeper details there. Checking over here. Same stuff I was playing essentially. Okay, this month had a lot of other. Some No Man's Sky. Okay, here's our Dead in Vinland playthrough getting started. I did play Showdown on their free weekend. Oh man, that's a game I would absolutely love to get into, and I can't do it. I don't have anyone that plays it, so I don't have a duo or trio partners, and that free weekend was on a new map. So despite the fact that I had watched a decent amount of people play, I couldn't transfer much of that knowledge because it was a brand new map. I did manage to get a kill. As a solo, I killed one player in a duo. I ambushed them as they were leaving the map and sniped one of them. And that I think was literally the only kill I got out of probably 10 hours of playing. That is a very hard game. And it is outside of my general wheelhouse. As you can see here, I don't play a lot of shooters. But dang, do I love the atmosphere of that game. Man, that is so good. Grand Blue Fantasy. There's another game I would love to do as a playthrough on the channel, or maybe even some multiplayer. Maybe that could be one that we could do some drop-in multiplayer at some point. It's 4-player co-op, and the maps seem kind of small, so we could like rotate in and out of that. I am thinking about ways that I can do some community playing. I'm just not there yet. Some Warhammer 3 in there, definitely. That must have been what came out in August. Dark Dwarves, maybe? Chaos Dwarves, maybe? Not 100% certain why I was playing that there. Crusader Kings, this is in September. Of course, Dominions. Stellaris, Rimworld, Factorio, Satisfactory. Okay, we did some Satisfactory streams in there. Not new entry. X4 Foundations. I have stuck my toes in X4. Another game that I'm really interested in trying to do something with, but I don't know how to make it watchable. Again, like just like with Workers and Resources, that's not what my channel specializes in. So most people who are really into that are going to go watch the people who that's their thing. Like I like to at least think that's kind of Dominions for me, but it's hard to break into something like that, especially something that you're not like an expert at. So watching someone flounder around in menus in X4, I don't know how watchable that would be. Mechabellum, had a ton of fun with Mechabellum. Great game. Great game. I wish I had more time to play some more of that. There's me dabbling in Terra Invicta. I was checking that out to see if I wanted to do a playthrough. Decided against it, and I was going to wait a little bit longer, and we still are not there yet. And coming towards the end here, some Factorio. That makes sense. I did play some of the new Space Age DLC. I was considering maybe doing a Factorio run during the next 2 weeks coming up here, but I decided I was going to do Disco Elysium. We may still have Factorio slot in the near future. Maybe. I don't know. Again, really hard to get people to watch that. It's not a very new game. I'm not the expert on it, so I don't know. Some Zero Sievert. Again, another game I'd like to do on the channel. I'm not particularly great at it, and it was giving me a little bit of problems running it. It was kind of crashing a little bit, so I decided against it there. And then into December, which we were only like just past the halfway point. Played a little bit of Dwarf Fortress. Yep. I was checking to see if I wanted to maybe run some of that on the channel. Decided against it. I don't think I could get anyone to watch it, but did play around in it a little bit. Finished up our Crusader Kings 3 game just the last week or so ago. Been playing a little bit against the Storm. Zephon, big splash here. I'm actually kind of surprised Zephon didn't land a little higher here. I'm really surprised by that, actually. And Path of Exile 2, which we would still be streaming if I could get it to work at the moment. So shame on you, Grinding Gears, for not having that fixed at the moment. Some Gnomes playtest. Yep, and Gnomes demo. So pretty cool. You can see pretty consistent thread lines here. Dominions plus whatever I was working on for the channel. So not super duper surprised there. Demos you played. Yeah, Heart of the Machine was pretty good. That's in one of my Steam Next Fest preview videos. That was pretty cool. I should check in on that again. And Mammon, our first sponsored video on the channel was from Mammon, Devil Help. Thank you very much, guys. Your longest streak? Yeah, we saw that. Okay. During this time, you played 34 different games. All right, let's see if there's anything crazy in here. Final Fantasy 14. I did start streaming that all the way up through Trial 1. I don't think people received the new expansion particularly well, and I certainly wasn't getting the viewership for it. There's a distinct possibility this summer I'm going to stream that for at least a few days because I'd like to finish the story and just catch up to current with no illusions that anyone's going to watch it. Darkest Dungeon, another game I'd love to put on the channel, but that is a slog. I know Preach just did a blind playthrough, and he streamed that for like 40 or 50 hours to get through it. I don't know if it would take me that long. I've never actually finished. I've gotten to the Darkest Dungeon and just lost interest. And it's one of those games that I want to restart every time I pick it up. So I just never have finished. No Man's Sky, Stellaris, RimWorld. I want to do some more RimWorld. Dead in Vinland. I'm very satisfied that I finished this. I've had this game for years. I played over 100 hours and never finished it. So super cool that I actually beat the game and I did it on camera. I think I have, if I am so bold, maybe the definitive playthrough of Dead in Vinland on YouTube, although my views indicate that nobody cares. Hunt, again, a game I would love to get into more. It is ridiculously hard, though. I'm not a particularly great FPS player, just in general. If I play FPS, I'm a shotgun player, if that tells you anything. And this is a very unforgiving, very hard game. And doubly so if you are a new player and you don't have friends to play with, because nobody wants to play with a newbie and get killed by them, essentially. Cultist Simulator, exceedingly cool game. The video I made on this did really well on the channel. You should definitely check it out if you didn't. I mainly played this to make that prep video so we could do some Book of Hours, which I still have not circled around to. Talked about that. Random Fantasy. I played this some. I enjoyed it okay. It kind of reminded me of like super duper light Monster Hunter play was kind of how it felt to me. I bet you that's a blast with real people rather than the AI. Book of Hours. I don't know how I would do my content for this. It's a very cool, very atmospheric game. I have a major complaint about it though. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know, but I don't think you could play through this game without making an external reference point. So I would need to run Obsidian or, I don't know, an Access database or a huge Excel workbook or something, because I don't know how you would keep track of your book catalog. Weirdly enough, the game doesn't have a book catalog, despite the fact that you're running a library. I think that's a major downfall of this game. I really would like them to add that. When you categorize books, you should be adding them to a ledger that you can at least refer to. Very cool game. It is in the same world as Cultist Simulator, but nowhere near as unforgiving. So if you liked the idea of Cultist Simulator, bounced off of it, you might like Book of Hours. It's way more chill. And you don't have to have knowledge from Cultist Simulator, although you'll get a much deeper experience if you have it. Last Spell. Very fun game. I streamed this through several playthroughs. We had a lot of fun. Longtime channel viewer, Bruh, died many a time. I think he died in every run through of Last Spell. Sorry, Bruh. So Warhammer Total War 3, a game I really like, despite my frustration with Creative Assembly. Maybe we'll do a one-off or something, a little bit of that. Again, decent viewership for the people who specialize in this, but nobody watches random people play it. I know Battle Mode tried to do it, and nobody watched him. So if he can't even draw people in, I don't know why people would watch me. I'm not stupendous at it, but I do love the game. Absolutely love it. Big fumble on CA's part, though. Hopefully they get their ship righted here. Shadow Empire, game I absolutely love. Again, I'm not an expert on it. We will be doing a playthrough of this. It's a matter of when. I may get impatient and do one relatively soon, or I may wait. It's kind of sounding like there's some rumblings about the next DLC. And the next DLC is going to be really big, like for how much I think I enjoy the game. So I don't know if I want to shoot now and then not want to play again when the DLC comes out, or we should just do it anyways. I don't know. If you have opinions about any of this stuff, by the way, please post them down below. Definitely interested in that. Elden Ring. I absolutely love the idea of this game. It is outside of my comfort zone. I do like Monster Hunter. I completed Monster Hunter Iceborne. I went all the way through and beat Fatalis. So I've done everything but maybe the last couple monsters they added. Um, but this is a whole different beast. I've never played Dark Souls, any of the three. Um, I did beat in the tutorial zone in Elden Ring. You can use a sword emblem thing and unlock a special boss. I did beat him. I did beat him. But man, that was like, you want to see Babel like sweat and crying tears of blood. It was beating that guy. So I didn't get very far in Elden Ring. Very, very cool game. FromSoft is just killing it. Just absolutely killing it. Against the Storm, literally the game that I launched my channel with. Some deep lore for the channel. I was actually going to launch the channel with a video about how to enjoy Graveyard Keeper. I had the thumbnail made. I had taught myself how to do that. Spent forever. I scripted the video, which is something I normally don't script. It's all improv from right here, right from the deep dark mind of Babel straight to you. But I had scripted that video. I had everything. I had shot footage for it, and my PC was dying. That was during Thanksgiving week. I had vacation that week, and I was going to make the video. And following that, I was able to fix my PC. It was my CMOS battery dying, which I've never literally had happen in my entire life. And I misdiagnosed it as a hard drive failure. So I missed my window there because nobody was making major Against the Storm content right at the 1.0 release. I don't know why or how, but for a couple days, I was the big fish in Against the Storm. And that's where I finally got a few views there, and then also a little bit from Matchless Kung Fu. It's very hard to post a video and get 1 view or 2 views because you're not even getting any feedback about what you're doing wrong or what people like or don't like. And it really wasn't until Dominions that I really kind of blew up a little bit. And we are, on the path that we're on today. Tale of Immortal. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that here because I think I am going to do some play when the DLC comes out in like a week or two. I have a lot to say about this game. Very mixed. Very mixed. Dune Spice Wars, very good game. Very good game. If you want an RTS 4X game, I don't know if you can do better than Dune Spice Wars. Very well done. Very good. I really enjoyed it. It's one of those kind of easy to pick up, hard to master type games. If you like the lore or the newer movies, I think you'll like this a lot. Age of Wonders 4 we spoke about. My Lovely Empress, another game that I thought was going to blow up on the channel and didn't particularly do well. I think most of my audience is more into the strategy, and let's be honest, they're mostly into Dominions. So a narrative, not quite. Oh, this is not what I want to be in. Not quite roleplay game, kind of sort of roleplay game. Has some strategy to it. I thought it was very cool, and I would like to revisit it and get a victory on there, but we definitely solidly lost that one. I learned a lot, though. Cavalry Girls, a surprise hit, actually, for me. It did okay. It did okay on the channel. I don't think I get any views on the videos anymore, but who knows, maybe if they have a DLC come out or something, we could revisit that. I like the character designs. The mech play was solid. Very high RNG for equipment, so I think it kind of forces you to try various things. Normally, I like games that have a bajillion systems. This game had too many systems. It seemed like every mission we unlocked some new system, and frankly, I probably only touched on like 70 or 80% of them by the time we were done. Okay, now we're getting down to like demos. Steam Next Fest. Some of these I didn't like well enough to even feature. Dominions, of course. Sword of Convallaria, big disappointment. I did a really good stream on this. I voice acted it and everything, and they pinged me with a copyright strike about every 2 minutes for the entire stream, and I was like, forget you. I'm out. That's the only video on the channel I've ever deleted, was the stream of Sword of Convallaria. I was very disappointed. I did in general like the game. One of the downsides was because I do so much, I work a full-time job, I have elderly parents that I kind of help out, and I do the channel. And between those three things, I don't have tons of time that I can justify not doing something at least towards the effort of the channel. And I don't have time to do an hour worth of dailies. That is why I like Star Rail so much. On days when I'm too busy, I can do Star Rail in like 5 minutes. I don't need a ton of time to do that. And if you're playing a gacha-like game, and doubly so if you're free to play, you need to be doing your dailies. So I just couldn't get away from that, unfortunately. Kingdom Dungeon and Hero. I played the demo, and as you can see, I wasn't very impressed. I might need to retouch it. Maybe I just wasn't in the right place, because I think this is a good game, but yeah, it just didn't do it for me. Something from Steam Next Fest. It looked interesting, but the demo, I bounced. We did end up covering this. This was one of my Steam Next Fest picks. And Technotopia, cool demo. Never circled back around to it, though. A timeline. I don't know if we really need to see any more of that. This is already... Yeah, this is a Babel-sized video already. This is a nice... if I would have known we had this, I probably would have looked at this. This is better visual indication. Macabellum there. Well, for next year, my 1% will be, we'll skip to this area at the beginning of the video. Thank you, Babel Builder, for being part of the Steam community. So there I am. Yep. All right. So what I would love to see is, what did you find in your Steam? Did you have any surprises? For me, it was actually how low a few things were. I thought I played a lot more of some of this stuff. This is also a good reminder, like, I'd like to show off Last Village. I'd like to show off Sailing Era. Maybe we should do an Anno 1800 play. I haven't beat that game. I haven't even gotten that far in it, despite owning basically all the DLCs. Gladius is coming. I'd love to do like a chill Stardew Valley. I've never beaten it. I've only ever gotten to Spring of Year 2. And I'm the type of person, when I start a game up again, I always start from the beginning. And so it's very difficult for me to finish things like that if I don't do them in a single sprint, essentially. Synergy, there's a game we should circle around to. I don't think this is out in 1.0 yet. Maybe when this comes out in 1.0, we'll play that. Power World could be a fun stream. I did really enjoy Power World, as you can see from the playtime here. Matchless Kung Fu, yep. All right, well, if you have any thoughts about your own, like I mentioned, or in a previous community post, I asked what other games are coming out or would you like to see? No promises on anything, but I'm just gathering ideas, seeing what people are interested in, and maybe that can help inform where I am going next. Okay, builders, well, that was my Steam 2024 year in review. I look forward to see what you guys have to post about yours. I wish there was an easy way we could share screenshots. I know. Babel Discord win. At some point. I'm not making promises I can't keep, but at some point. Okay, that's going to be it for me, builders. I hope you found this interesting or entertaining or just enjoyed listening to those dulcet tones. Either way, I will catch you in the next one. Take care and get out there and build yourself a backlog.